Yo, what's going on, guys? It's Houston Sports Talk back into the video today. Today, the Houston Astros beat the St. Louis Cardinals 5-3. Great win for the Astros today. 11 hits for the Astros, 4 for the Cardinals, 0 errors in the ballgame. Framber Valdez gets the win. He's 2-0 in spring now. Gave up 3 hits, 3 earned runs, and 6 strikeouts today and 2 walks. Not bad from Framber in his 5 innings. Loss goes to Sonny Gray. Has really been struggling in spring. Has a 12 ERA this spring. Went 4 2/3 today. Gave up 7 hits, 5 earned runs, 5 strikeouts, 0 walks. I mean, look, it wasn't. I mean, I'm not saying he was good today, but it wasn't. I mean, he wasn't better than Framber, but it wasn't. I mean, it was a little bit worse than Framber today, but it wasn't. It could have been worse. Is what I'll say. I mean, 5 earned runs in 5 innings, not good. Could have been worse. Save goes to Luis Contreras, who pitched the 9th, 2 strikeouts, 1 walk. Another inning for him of no-run baseballs. Yet to give up an earned run this spring. Absolutely incredible to see that. Scoring summary, Chas McCormick, had a amazing 3-run home run today, 397 feet. Singleton and Rogers scored 3-0 after that. I mean, finally, first home run of the spring for Chas, and, it's good to see him hit one. With Cam Smith struggling the way today he did, that makes things more interesting, especially the day that Zach DeZenzo had, knowing he's a guy that you can put in right field with some right field debates for this Astros team. Having a day that he had yesterday, Zach DeZenzo the other day had a 3-for-4 day with 2 doubles, an RBI. One of them was an RBI double and a walk. So, honestly, I don't know. If you ask me, who do you feel the most comfortable in right field? As an Astros fan, if you ask me, all right, you're an Astros fan, who do you feel more comfortable with the Astros and being in right field? Chas McCormick, Cam Smith, or Zach DeZenzo? And honestly, obviously I wouldn't say Chas McCormick. I feel like if Chas can heat up a little bit, right now I wouldn't even have Chas on this roster, but I will say this. If Chas can heat it up, he should be on this roster. Maybe not as a everyday starter, but he should be the guy that's the backup for Jake Myers in center field. If he can heat it up a little bit, I'd be okay with him being the backup center fielder. But if you ask me who I feel more comfortable with right now as the starting right fielder, if Cam Smith were to start struggling a little bit in the last week of spring, I might tell you guys Zach DeZenzo. I don't know. I like Cam Smith. I think he has a great future to be a great player for this Houston Astros team. He's a future star. I can guarantee that. But as of right now, I really love Zach DeZenzo, and I think maybe he's more ready for the major leagues than Cam Smith is. And Zach DeZenzo potentially playing in right to open up the year might be able to give Cam Smith a chance to go develop a little bit more in the minor leagues with this Astros team. Yes, he's developed a little bit in the minor leagues with the Cubs team, but he needs to do that with the Astros potentially. I don't know. I'm so both-sided when it comes to Cam Smith potentially making this team. I want him to, but I also feel like it's better for him to maybe spend the first month of the season in AAA. And especially if Zach DeZenzo is going to look the way he has had recently, the way he's looked recently in spring. Zach DeZenzo could have a monster season for the Houston Astros team. But, Chas sent one deep in second inning. That same second inning, we saw Isaac Paredes hit a single to left. Pena scored. It's 4-0. Then Scott the second hit a home run in the second, 4-1. Jeremy Pena, who, look, I know Cam Smith has been with being a rookie, I think he's been great this spring, and maybe you consider him the best hitter this Astros team has had this spring, but honestly, the best hitter that this Houston Astros team has had this spring has been Jeremy Pena. He went 3 for 3 today with 2 runs and 1 home run and an RBI, and was 75% weight. He was 75% there to a cycle today. Not even getting his final 2 at-bats. Today, Zach Short got Jeremy Pena's final 2 at-bats being replaced, and he had most of a cycle, a single, a double, and a home run for Pena today, and didn't even get his final 2 at-bats, and that was his 4th, or I want to say that was his 4th. I think him and Cam Smith have the same amount of homers this spring. I think they both have 4, if I'm correct, but it might have been his 3rd though. But JP has been red hot this spring. It's been fun to watch, and I've said it. He's going to I think out of everybody you saw in last year, I think Zenzo could be really good for this Astros team. But I think Jeremy Pena is going to be the biggest breakout guy this year for this Houston Astros team. I'm really excited to see it, man. But yeah, great home run for him in the fifth, 424 feet out of 4 home runs today between both teams, Chas, Pena, and then Scott the second. In the next one, in the fifth inning, Velade hit a home run to right center, 364 feet. That made it 5-3. Jeremy Pena's was by far the largest home run hit today. The closest that came to Jeremy Pena's home run was 404 feet. Jeremy's was 424 feet. I'm really excited for the season he's going to have. I can talk about it for a while. Jose Altuve went over. We're going to go over individual batters. Jose Altuve went over 3, struck out twice, swinging and looking. He's been terrible this spring, but look, he's saving it for the regular season. That's okay. Cooper Hummel went 1 for 2, replacing him. Double to right in the ninth. Jeremy Pena went 3 for 3. Single, double, home run, just like I said. He did it in order too. One. If you talk about single. If a single's 1, a double's 2, and then triple's 3, home runs 4. 1, 2, 4 for Pena today. Zach Short 0 for 1 today. He had a 7th inning walk. He replaced Pena. 7th inning walk, 9th inning struck out swinging. As I already mentioned, Short did replace Pena. Isaac Paredes went 1 for 3 today. His RBI single in the 2nd inning, lined out, grounded out in his other at-bats. Luis Guillorme replaced him, went 0 for 2, struck out swinging, and flat out to left. Yanner Diaz went 1 for 3 today, single to center. That got Pena to third. Walker Janik, how about this, though? Walker Janik, with his first 2 at-bats as a Houston Astro in spring training, had not played at all this spring, but that ends today. Infield single to shortstop in his first at-bat, in the 9th inning, struck out looking, the Astros' first-round pick from last year. Another Astros first-round pick who wasn't actually drafted by the Astros, but first-round pick, Cam Smith, did struggle today. Grounded into fielder's choice in the first, struck out in his next 2 at-bats, 8th inning, flat out to center. Look, I will say, Sonny Gray today, who was the pitcher throwing to Cam Smith for most of his at-bats today, I think it was three of his 4 at-bats today, was the best pitcher that Cam Smith has seen this spring, if you ask me. And we're talking about Sonny Gray, a 3-time All-Star guy who's finished top 20 in MVP voting before, a guy who has finished, in the last couple of years, has finished in the Cy Young voting. 2023 was second place in Cy Young voting and has been, voted in the Cy Young voting like 3 or 4 times and has been a really good pitcher in this league. Last 5 seasons has been so dominant. I know he's been struggling a lot this spring, but that doesn't mean he's a great pitcher and probably the best that Cam Smith has seen this spring. And so, yeah, I think that's a hard challenge for Cam Smith to go through, and that's something I don't think you want to see him go through in the regular season, which is maybe why it would be best for him to potentially spend the entire month of April and maybe half, if not all of May, in the minor leagues and to continue to develop there. But honestly, I don't know if the Astros can afford that. I think if they had more trust in some of their players on this team, then no doubt go send Cam Smith to the minor leagues for his development. But you don't. With the right field issue, very well might need Cam Smith on this roster opening day. But yeah, we'll see what happens there. John Singleton 1 for 2 today, infield single in the 2nd inning. He started to heat up recently, but I wouldn't have him on this roster, to be honest. I really wouldn't. Because look, Zach Zenzo has been so good in this spring. You can plug him at first. You already got Christian Walker at first. So what's the need? John's a guy who can only play one position if he's not at first base. He can only play first base unless you put him at DH like he was today. And now you got better options at first base with Christian Walker and, Zach Zenzo. You also got Isaac Paredes you can put at first. You have both your catchers, Yanner Diaz and Victor Caratini, are both usable at first. Victor Caratini played at first base today. Like, honestly. And you look at everybody else besides Christian Walker, you look at everybody else that is at first base for the Houston Astros team, you can put at first base. All of them can play other positions. Really, they can. Like, Caratini plays first and catcher. Yanner Diaz, first and catcher. Has also played the outfield before, but I don't think he's ever going to do that for the Astros again. Zach Zenzo can play everywhere. Christian Walker, at least as far as I know, can only play first base. For instance, Isaac can play third, second, and it can play basically throughout the entire infield, I think, besides shortstop. So everybody, and then you just got John, who just plays first and DH. So and then with how bad he's been as a bat this spring, I don't know. I wouldn't have him on this roster, especially with so much talent that you can put at first base, like Christian Walker, Zach DeZenzo, Isak, both the catchers in Caratini and Yander Diaz. I think there's more talent to be put at the first base position this year than there was last year with adding in Walker and also adding in Isak and getting Zach DeZenzo more developed at first base. But it'd be interesting to see. Really would be. It'd be interesting to see if John Singleton will make the roster or not. Ben Gamble replaced him, went 0 for 1, but did have a walk in the 8th inning. Victor Caratini went 0 for 3 today. And Luis Castro went 0 for 1 in his only at-bat. Brendan Rodgers went 1 for 4, single to left. Chas McCormick went 1 for 3 with his home run, batting 161 this spring. Outside of Framber Valdez, look, Ryan Gusta looked good in the 6th inning. 2 walks, giving up 2 strikeouts, 1.17 ERA this spring, and has 2 starts this spring as well, where he pitched a good amount of innings. Has been really solid this spring, and he was someone who's supposed to make his major league debut game 162 for the Astros against the Guardians, and that got rained out. Could he potentially be someone that makes this roster? I don't know. All right, then Jalen Beeks pitched the 7th. 1 strikeout, looked pretty solid. 2.25 ERA so far for the Astros in spring. And then Brian King and Luis Contreras pitched the 8th and 9th inning. I went over Luis. Brian King, though, pitched in the 8th, gave up a hit with a strikeout. And his ERA so far is 2.70 this spring. Let me know your thoughts on the Astros 5-3 win in the comment section, and peace out. Go Stros.